Fine.
Cool.
Hey, Foreseen Divers! Welcome to Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nicole. I'm your social media director, and today joining me is Dani. Dani works at our 4C Pompano store, and she's also here because she's a representative of the Stream to See products that we're going to be having in the presentation. And we also have on the screen, we have Autumn Blum from Stream to See. All right. Well, thank you guys all for tuning in. If you are on, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, a smiley face, or a little heart emoji to let us know that you're enjoying the presentation. Also, in the comment section, make sure that you write hi and where you're listening in from. We want to know who is here with us live. Okay, so in the month of November, we actually theme that Give Thanks to Your Oceans Month. Dani, what are some of the things that we're doing to give thanks to our oceans?
Some of the things that we're doing are beach cleanups. We're also talking about sharks and the shark fin trade and Squalene. We'll get into that later. And
like what you can do just as divers.
Picking up trash. Oh, that's right. So picking up trash, if you pick up at least 3 pieces every day and you snap a picture and share it with us, you can get 1 free nitrox fill or 2 free air fills. So
awesome.
Every little piece counts.
That's right, guys. So I know there hasn't been a lot of diving going on because our ocean's been a little mad here in South Florida, but it's not just here in South Florida. We want to see people cleaning up their beaches in other parts of the either Florida or in the U.S. or in other countries. Any picture you take, post it to your social media and tag 4C in it. And if you're ever in Florida, we'll give you those free fills. If you're here, we'll add them to your fill card. So again, guys, take that picture, tag 4C in it, and we'll share it. And we really do appreciate everybody giving thanks to their oceans for the month of November. So you guys also know that if you go to our event page, you go to tonight's presentation, click on it. That is an Eventbrite link. And what you want to do is you want to register before 7 o'clock. And the reason because at 7 it closes, and then whoever has registered, you're going to be in our raffle for tonight. We have 2 products that we're going to be giving away from Stream to See. So make sure that you're registered before 7 o'clock to get in on that raffle. All right. So again, if you are here, make sure you're typing in where you're listening in from. Tell us hello. Give us that thumbs up. Give us that smiley face or that little heart emoji to let us know that you are enjoying this presentation. All right. So Dani and I, we're going to be on in a little bit, but we're going to turn it over to Autumn. Autumn's going to go over toxic ocean and what you need to know about the products that you're using that make it hard for the ocean to do what it needs to do. So Autumn, I'm going to bring in your slideshow and I'm going to hide us, and you're on.
All right. Thank you very much. It's exciting to hear what 4C, what our partners are doing over there. And of course, from our side, we're working hard to educate people about sunscreen contaminants in our water. Some people, they question, they say, does it really make a difference? And what I want to go over fairly briefly with you tonight is that, yeah, it really does make a difference. Briefly, my background, my name's Autumn Blum. I'm a cosmetic chemist. I'm also an avid diver. I've probably met a whole bunch of you on the boat. Either over near 4C in that area or down in the Keys. Anytime I'm not in my warehouse, except for when we're not talking about this here, that's where you should find me. But outside of diving, I'm a cosmetic chemist. I've been formulating products for the natural products industry for a little over 20 years now. One of the things I like to say is there's so many things that are affecting our oceans today, right? Overfishing, single-use plastics, overpopulation, and we all need to do our part. But one thing that's really easy for us to change is purchasing better products. If you're going to put sunscreen on your body, make sure it's safe. If you are hanging out anywhere near a coastal community, pay attention to the sunscreen that you're using. I'm going to teach you how to read your ingredients a little bit and show you why it makes a difference, okay? All right, so what is Reef safe? It's really important for me to share with you that there is no up. I'm being told that my audio is horrible. I'm not sure if I can do a whole lot, but I'm going to exit out and try that one again. Hang on a second. I'll be right back with you.
Maybe it's because when she shared.
It is possible.
So now your volume sounds better. So I don't know what happened.
All right, well, let's see. Maybe we can try not sharing my screen, or we can try it again if you like. Let's see here. That was. And
You
let's see here. Where did it go anyway?
Everybody, the fun of technical difficulties. Sorry.
That's it. I'm also from home in a nice, lovely rural area, so sometimes our internet gets funky. Can you still hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you, and we are doing good. At least on our end, you sound much better. Anybody else want to give us a comment? Let us know how we sound. Are we sounding better now? Autumn, talk, because I think it was your.
All right. Okay, we can try one more time. How's that sound? Any better?
Sounds good to me.
Yep, it sounds good to us. So, Did you email me your slides?
Yeah.
I didn't. I can certainly try that, but you want to try sharing it one more time, see if that goes through?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, cool. So let's see here. Go back to screen share, and we'll try to get that back over here. And if that doesn't work, then we will just send it right over to you. All right. Oops, that's not where you want to be, is it?
Nope, we're good. It's up.
All right. Go like that. All right. Can you?
So good.
Okay. All right. Let's give that a go. So
can you start from the beginning, because everybody said it was really muffled.
Sure. No problem. So
Sorry about that. Reset.
Reset. All right. How's this? So I'm a cosmetic chemist. I'm also an avid diver, and hopefully I've met a bunch of you on the boat, but if not, there's always 2021, because we're not talking about this here too much. And one of the things I like to share about is that there's so many things out there that we can't affect, or there's so many things that are affecting our oceans that I don't necessarily feel like I can make a difference on. You know, you've got climate change, overpopulation, the single-use plastics, and the products that I choose to put on my bodies are two issues that definitely do impact our waters that we do have an ability to fix or do better with. You hear me a little bit better, Nicole? People, thumbs up. I'm not getting a text message from Dani, so I'm going to take that as an okay. All right. So it's important to share that there's no standardized view on what is reef safe. There's no mutually agreed upon term. This is not a federally regulated term. And the FTC has recently weighed in the state of California anyway, about the terminology, but it's really important if you want to choose good products to read the ingredient labels. Don't just trust what's on the front of the package. You need to become an educated consumer, flip over the bottle, and start to learn to understand what is in the products that you're purchasing. Make sense? Good? All right. Move closer to the mic, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Let's see. All right. Hopefully you guys are all hearing this okay, because I'm not getting any messages saying not. All right. So do sunscreens and personal care products really impact our health and waters? There's a lot of people out there that ask me that. They'll say it on the boat. Seriously, come on, does my sunscreen really make a difference? And I'm here to tell you, absolutely, it makes a difference. More than 14,000 tons of sunscreen has been shown to enter our reef systems every single year. So how much actually does affect our waters? Researchers have shown in numerous trials that have been published that as small as 62 parts per trillion of one of the ingredients, oxybenzone, is enough to kill coral larvae. So that may not necessarily kill live larvae, but if you can't keep the baby safe, what's going to happen, right? Our reefs aren't replenishing themselves, and we all know that the reefs need every chance that they can get. So 1 drop of oxybenzone is equivalent to, or 62 parts per trillion is equivalent to 1 drop in 6 swimming pools. That's the smallest amount they've shown to be toxic. These ingredients, there's others. Oxybenzone is the one that people talk about the most, but there's oxybenzone, octinoxate, parabens, avobenzone, and then we really get complicated when we start saying that not all mineral sunscreens are created equal. Clear and nano zinc have also been shown to be toxic to coral and marine life. So you really do have to learn to flip over the bottle and read those ingredients. The reason these things are harmful is because they bioaccumulate in the systems and they're known endocrine disruptors. So how much is actually in our waters? There was a study done a few years back in Bahia, Honda, that showed that 4,474 parts per trillion of oxybenzone was identified in our coastal waters, 2,300 of avobenzone. Now, Hawaii had significantly less than that, and they banned it. Florida hasn't. Anyway, there's a lot in there. So we showed on the previous screen that 62 parts per trillion was enough to keep coral from replicating, and we had 4,474 sampled in the water. So there's a lot out there. What does it do? It disrupts the healthy coral larva and transforms it into deformed inert larva. So basically, again, they can't reproduce. It feminizes male fish. So seriously, sometimes that happens naturally, but this will do it unnaturally. Sometimes I talk about the feminization of oxybenzone on the boats, and we talk about we won't move into that one, but feminizes male fish. Leads to increased coral bleaching. The way that works is it reduces the temperature that coral will start to bleach. So if it would normally bleach at 87 to 92 degrees, it actually reduces that a couple of degrees, and it makes the reefs more susceptible to climate change. Disrupts the DNA. Skeleton endocrine disruptor means it encases the coral in its own skeleton, and it impacts the fertility. And that's not just coral, that's on the fish as well. This is a pretty cool picture that was taken by Dr. Bill Presh, who shared it with us. That top image on the two sides there are healthy coral. The healthy coral fragments, the two below it, were exposed to a common sunscreen for 24 hours. This handprint there, I don't know if you guys can all see that, but that was a group of coral surveyors or students that were surveying some coral that all applied sunscreen. And one girl said that she had some sensitivities and she didn't want to use the one that was being provided. She used her own. She put it on her hands and it was surgy. This is what the story is. It was surgy and she wound up hand planting this brain coral. Dr. Presh went out there a week later and he could clearly see that handprint on there after just a week. This picture kind of hurts my heart sometimes, but I like to share it with science nerds, people like me. What does it do to fish? Well, the image on the left is a normal, healthy larva fish. The one in the middle there was exposed to 50 parts per billion, not parts per trillion, 50 parts per billion of a sunscreen, not just oxybenzone, but of the sunscreen itself, and its internal organs exploded. The image on the right, you can kind of see little lightning bolts coming out of its eyes. It had an aneurysm and died. So this stuff really messes with developmental toxicities. This is a kind of a cool little picture. Somebody sprayed aerosol sunscreen on their feet. Boat captains hate it for exactly the same reason. It kills the grass all around it, discolors your boat deck as well. It's also one of the things I want to share with you. The reason why these are so harmful, again, is because they are endocrine disruptors. You hear about endocrine disruption in things like our plastics. We don't give BPA containing bottles to babies anymore because we've shown that they're endocrine disruptors. It's not just sunscreen. I love that people are focusing on sunscreen and they're starting to choose wisely with the ingredients that they're buying. But there was a study done in France just last year showing that more than 80% of our personal care products have these endocrine disrupting chemicals in them. It only takes 20 seconds for them to be absorbed in your bloodstream. Seriously, you put it on your body, 20 seconds later, it can be detected in either your blood or in your urine or both. So you can find these ingredients in shampoo, in conditioner, body lotion, moisturizers, facial serums, nail polish. Nail polish and hair dyes are just terrible if you don't choose wisely. But seriously, flip over the bottle, read your ingredients. We have these really handy cards. You can get them at 4C. You can download them on our website. That are little cheat sheets. It shows you different ingredients that to be a conscious consumer, you want to make sure that you're avoiding these in your products. Again, not just sunscreen, everything that you buy, every cosmetic. Flip it over, make sure that it doesn't contain these health hazards or these eco hazards. If you want to dig a little bit more into the science behind it, you can go onto our website, streamthesea.com. We have a list of ingredients to avoid, and you can click on through there, and it'll link you over to some of the studies. So it's not just me sitting here saying, don't use these, they're bad. There's some serious clinical trials out there showing that these ingredients do bioaccumulate in our bodies and in the environment, and it's pretty easy to choose. You just don't need them anymore. There's so many other alternatives. So what's going on around the world? Every place except for Florida pretty much is paying attention to these ingredients and starting to ban them. Every time they go through and they look at the science, they look at the studies, I believe that every place where a ban has been proposed, except for the state of Florida, it has passed. What happened in Key West last year, the locals band together to ban oxybenzone and octinoxate from sale in their community. It did pass, passed by landslide. The state of Florida, it was taken up in the House, and they preempted the ban, basically saying that it was illegal in the state of Florida for them to ban sunscreen ingredients. So we now say, lobbyists had nothing to do with that, right? So we like to say education over legislation, perhaps. It's important to educate your friends not to use these ingredients. So Hawaii started the issue. The exciting thing about Hawaii banning oxybenzone and octinoxate is they got worldwide attention on it. The bad thing is that they got worldwide attention on oxybenzone and octinoxate, so fancy marketing companies and slick formulators decided to remove oxybenzone and octinoxate and replace it with avobenzone and octocrylene. Now, I'm an organic cosmetic chemist, so I can show you structurally that they're pretty darn similar. They just hadn't been banned. So again, it's up to the next level of education to really just look for non-nano zinc oxide, non-nano titanium dioxide. That's what Palau did. Palau banned all the 13 ingredients that have been shown to be toxic. So I like to say, be like Palau. It's happening across the world. So there's two types of sunscreens out there. One's a chemical sunscreen, one's a mineral sunscreen. I hesitate with the words chemical versus mineral, mainly because I'm a chemist and I think we're all chemicals, but harmful chemical versus safe mineral, UV absorbing versus UV reflecting. That's really the technical term for it. A chemical sunscreen is what most of us probably grew up with. It can be an aerosol, it can be a lotion, and the way that those work is they absorb into your body, so you have to put it on 15 minutes prior to exposure, so those chemical ingredients called UV absorbers have time to soak into the fatty layers of your body where they absorb the UV radiation and then your body converts it to heat. So that has always kind of freaked me out, right? You're putting something on your body, soaking it into your body to absorb into your body the UV radiation that you're trying to protect yourself against. Okay, well, it does work. It keeps you from getting red. The mineral sunscreens work by creating a layer on top of your skin that reflects the UV radiation away from your body. So on the label, you still have to say apply 15 minutes prior to exposure. I say that on our packaging because the FDA makes me. I don't really think that's important. It reflects the rays. It doesn't have to soak into your body. It reflects the rays away from your body. The mineral sunscreens, you can get them clear, but the way that you make them clear is by basically taking those particles, taking the titanium and the zinc, and making them really, really tiny. And when the smaller they are, the less you see them on your skin. But the downside there is that then at that point, they're absorbed into the coral and into the fish, and there's been some really clear aquatic toxicity shown on that side. So basically, I say if a product goes on perfectly clear and you're concerned about being a conscious consumer and not wanting to impact the environment, it's probably not going to do the trick for you. So Dani, if I can cut over here, she can show you how to apply a mineral sunscreen so you don't look like a Mark Zuckerberg or Casper the Friendly Ghost. So let me see if I can shift over and she can do a little demonstration there.
We're there. We're live with you.
Right.
So we have two different kinds. We have two different types. Basically, a white-based mineral sunscreen and a tan one. And like Autumn said, you don't want to be Casper the Friendly Ghost. It's not something you squirt out and just smear all over your face and body. It's mineral-based, so you really have to take a little bit of extra time to work it into your skin. And a little bit goes a long way. I've already probably put too much on. This much can cover pretty much the whole arm. So add that a little bit. And you gently apply to the skin. Now you are going to see, especially with the white, it's going to get a little bit lighter. Right? Not quite Casper, but I like knowing that because now you know it's actually applied to your skin. So you can show them your hand versus the other hand.
This is with nothing.
So this will stay on water resistant for up to 80 minutes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Won't burn your eyes, won't make your mask slide around.
Yeah, and it's really not, it's not sticky, it's not oily, it's just really nice and sheen. And then just to show you the difference in color for someone like me, so that I don't look like Casper, we have a tan version. It actually works pretty well on you, Nicole, even though you're more fair skinned than I am. Actually, really surprised. It looks great.
So this is the regular, and this is the tinted.
Oh,
So
that is nice on you. All right. Thank you.
right.
Okay, so after you get out of the water, it is important to reapply, put a little bit more on, unless you're wearing the white and you can still see it. As long as you can see it, you're protected. So what I'll do quite often, if I'm on a liveaboard or I'm doing several dives in a day, I'll put it on fairly heavy first thing in the morning. So I'll do exactly what Dani just showed, but maybe I'll put on a second coat. Like if you're a dive instructor and you're going to be doing a lot of surface checks and you don't want to get burned and you're hanging out on there, teaching your students, maybe put on a second layer. Or at lunchtime, I'll find that maybe my mask will have rubbed it off on my nose a little bit. So I'll reapply there. But won't burn your eyes, stays on really well. The tinted is kind of my favorite. I can put the tinted on and it kind of replaces a mineral makeup. You're well protected, doesn't feel greasy or heavy. Now, if you put it on, you go, you hear that sound, no good. You put on way too much. Share with everybody else in the boat. All right, I'm going to jump back over to the full screen here. Let's see here. There we go. All right, so we'll go on to a little bit more here. One of the most commonly asked questions that we get is, let's jump back over. One of the most commonly asked questions that we get is, do you have an SPF 50? Do you have an SPF 100? And I like to say, unless you have a skin disorder, or you have a skin disorder because you're Canadian, you've been hanging out inside for the last year, anything above an SPF 30 really is overkill. Maybe even if you are Canadian and hanging out up there. An SPF 30 will block over 97% of those UVB rays. UVB are the burning rays. So there's UVA and there's UVB. UVA are the ones that cause a lot of cellular damage. They cause the fine lines, the wrinkles. I remember them by the UVA aging rays. The UVB rays are the ones that cause your skin to burn. It would be intuitive that an SPF 50 would be twice as much protection as an SPF 20, right? No. The difference between an SPF 30 and an SPF 50 is less than 1% increase in protection. The way that it works is if you can spend 10 minutes in the sun without burning and you put on an SPF 20, you can now theoretically spend 200 minutes in the sun without burning, right? 200 minutes. Well, every single bottle will tell you to reapply after 80 minutes anyway. So what difference does that make? It really doesn't. So to me, anything above an SPF 30 gives people a false sense of confidence, and it's just a way for us to charge more money for a product. So I have pretty dark skin. I use the 20. A lot of people, the SPF 30 is our #1 seller. Works great, and seriously, nothing's going to block 100% of those rays anyway. All right, hope that makes sense to everybody. Let me jump back over to the big screen here. So moving on from sunscreens, my next passion project, the thing that I'm spending a lot of time talking about these days, is shark-free and squalene. So over there on the east coast of Florida is one of my favorite places to dive because there's so many sharks over there. It's so wonderful. We want to protect our sharks. There are literally thousands and thousands and thousands of sharks that are being killed for our skincare. And right now they're talking about vaccines. So vaccines, we all want to see a vaccine come out, right? Well, a lot of these vaccines are using squalene in them. What kind of squalene? So squalene is it's an ingredient that penetrates your skin very rapidly. It's a wonderful moisturizer. It's a beautiful ingredient that's used in a lot of skincare. It comes predominantly from sharks. It can also come from olives. So the shark livers contain the oil known as squalene. You can also see squalane on the label. Squalane is basically just stabilized squalene. So that's what we use. We use squalane, which comes from olives. It can also come from sugarcane. I think castor plants contain it. It's naturally occurring in our body. It is a wonderful moisturizer. It helps restore your skin, especially if you have sun damage, wind damage. It's wonderful for your hair as well. And it helps minerals spread really nicely. So I like to tell people a couple of drops of squalene on your face, and then you put on your moisturizer, or then you put on your Your sunscreen or your daily makeup, fantastic. It's just a lovely ingredient, but you need to make sure that it's not coming from sharks. So our friends over at Shark Allies are estimating that up to 3 million sharks are killed every year for squalene. It's heart-wrenching. There's no need for it. We can get it from olives. Olives don't cry when you eat them, right? Okay, so shark-free, Shark Allies has a new certification called shark-free. Stream to Sea, I'm really proud to say that we are the first company that has achieved this certification from them. And we're really hoping that hundreds, if not thousands of more brands will follow suit and take this certification. I like to say ignorance is bliss. There's an awful lot of people out there that just have no idea that this little innoxious ingredient that's in your skincare, that's in our vaccines, can come from sharks. So if you see squalene on a label and it doesn't say vegetarian, plant-based, you can pretty much assume that it came from sharks. This is what our product looks like, and non-comedogenic, it's great for your skin. Supports a healthy skin microbiome. That's a really good transition to talk about the microbiome when I'm going to jump back over here. Let's see, coming back over to you, Dani and Nicole. The reason I jumped over here is because of the sanitizer. Let's see, are you ladies still here? There you are. All right. So the reason I talk about this, everybody is using sanitizer right now. So what happens to your skin when you use sanitizer? What happens, right? You kill the bacteria. And you dry the heck out of your skin, which also kills more bacteria and disrupts your healthy microbiome. You're going to see this a lot next year. The biggest skincare topic that's going on among cosmetic chemists in the world right now is supporting our healthy microbiome, because you want some bacteria. Some bacteria is good. You get infections if you don't have some. Squalene will help with supporting that healthy biome. Anyway, talk about some sanitizer a little bit.
Have sanitizer here. So yeah, Autumn was able to come up with this hand sanitizer mid-pandemic, and it is one of my favorite products now. It comes all different sizes, which I have. So you can get gallons of it. You can get the refill size, a smaller refill size, glass spray bottle, and this one's my personal favorite. It's a twist up spray. Also refillable, comes with a really nice glass insert, screws right off. You refill it, you pop it back in your pocket or your purse, and an even smaller spray as well. So lots of different options. This hand sanitizer is special because the alcohol that it comes from, that's used as the base, is from fermented orange peels as opposed to toxic. I don't really know.
Petroleum-based. Most of them are petroleum-based these days, especially during the pandemic. All the cheap crap that you were able to find, and the reason for the recall of the Chinese and the Mexican is because it's basically fuel ethanol, which is not good for our skin or our planet.
Yeah, so if it smells like vodka or gasoline, then you know it can't be good for you. This one also has eucalyptus and camphor, so it just smells really nice and fresh and clean. Kind of opens up your senses. So
thank you. All right, so sanitizer gels. Most people use the gel, and what's important about that for the planet? Well, the gels all use an ingredient called carbomer. Carbomer is known to be a microplastic. So if you're avoiding microplastics, you want to flip over the bottle, read the ingredients, and make sure that it doesn't say carbomer or acrylates cross polymer. Some acrylates aren't horrible, but the majority of them, especially if they're using a clear gel like that, they never break down, and they're just contributing to microplastics in our world. So back at the beginning of the pandemic, we were prepared. We had gotten Stream to Sea on board all these cruise ships. It was really exciting. We opened up a lot of new accounts, and then nobody's going anywhere, right? So I'm sitting there with this lovely new warehouse that we had built and 11 employees in the production facility saying, oh boy, what are we going to do now? And I managed to find, I had gone to an equipment auction a few months earlier, and at that auction I had seen a whole bunch of alcohol, and it had camphor in it. I was like, I remember thinking at that auction, what the heck are they doing with all this camphor alcohol? Well, they were making sports and muscle rubs with it. And of course, I didn't know if anybody had bought it or not, but when the pandemic hit, you couldn't find alcohol. And I called the company and said, hey, did you guys sell that or do you still have it? Well, they turned me on to the company that had bought all of the raw materials, and I was able to secure 20 drums of this ethanol with camphor in it. The cool thing about camphor is back when SARS was going crazy in China, they had done some studies on different botanical ingredients and identified camphor as one of the top 5 botanical or natural ingredients that had promising action against the SARS virus. So I was like, well, heck, let's go ahead and stick that. Let's sounds like a perfect additive for our sanitizer. So that was able to literally save our Central Florida company. I'm still grateful for it. And it turned into a wonderful product. We added some vitamin E to it. The camphor gives it a little slick. And then the eucalyptus oil adds the respiratory effect. And we didn't have to use any of those other harmful denaturants that are in a lot of sanitizers. So I think long-term, that is going to be a part of our life as well. Shifting over to the dive side for a moment. This isn't necessarily a stream to sea issue, but one thing to be conscious of is sanitizers and preservatives in our world. Their sole purpose is to kill, right? So we think about our dive gear, we think about being on the boats, we think about the quaternary ammonium compounds. That's what we typically use to sanitize. In high concentrations, those can be really destructive to our water as well. I personally believe that unless it's something that's black, if you can use bleach for sanitizing, there's concerns about bleach as well on the manufacturing side more, but bleach is one of the safer sanitizers out there for our oceans because you can just let it sit out in the sun for a little bit and the chlorine will dissipate. So I think about dive sites where you've got the rinse bin that's right by the water and there's a living well right below it, right? You're in a channel, you're in a canal, you're in a little inlet, and you think about dumping lots of quaternary ammonium compounds into that confined area. I'd so much prefer to see them use just bleach or taking it home. So I think that's going to be a topic we're all going to be talking about a lot in the next year too. And the message that I really want you to leave with is just don't believe that you can't make a difference on an individual level. What you put on your bodies, what you choose to purchase really can make a difference. And it's divers are the educators of the sea. We have the ability to teach everyone around us to be conscious of what we're putting into our waters. And I appreciate you taking your time to learn with us today. And I appreciate my friends over at 4C for inviting me this evening. I'd love to answer any questions from you guys.
Awesome. So we don't turn off this live yet, guys. We have a couple more things to show you. So Autumn was talking about the different stream to sea products, and Dani here just wanted to show you guys really quick a couple of these things that if we don't have them in stock at 4C, we will get them if there is a demand. So we do carry a lot of these products, but some of them are new, and we want to see if you guys want them too. So come into the 4C and say, hey, I heard about this product. Do you have it? And if we don't, we will get it ordered and get it stocked. So, all right, Dani, let's go over to your display here. And Autumn, I'm going to hide you for a second. All right, there's Dani. Okay.
So I pretty much laid out this display so that you could see all of the different sizing that Stream to Sea comes in. Obviously, we have our gallon jugs here, and I personally have a gallon jug of almost every product. I have my shampoo and body wash in one. It's a 2-in-1, also conditioning. I have a leave-in conditioner. I have hand sanitizer, mask defog, and body lotion. And then I have a ton of the 32 ounce for the sunscreens. So you can buy in bulk if you know you love the product. It reduces the packaging and you always have it. These are all the different sizes for the hand sanitizer that I showed you before. What I really love about this one is that it comes, oh, this is the Squalene. Ah, yay! So the hand sanitizer also comes in a blue glass bottle, but this is the super hydration Squalene, and I'm so happy that I have it. We also have moisturizing lip balms, SPF lip balms. I use this on a daily basis. It keeps my lips really nice and smooth, not chapped. For all the dieters out there, this mask defog is the best. Obviously, you can spit in your mask, but with the pandemic going on and everything, I definitely know that dive boats are not doing the communal rinse bin. advocating that you use mask defog instead of spitting into your mask. This one works really well. We were giving it to divers, all our friends, to tell us what they thought, and we've gotten really positive feedback on this mask defog so far. And we have them at 4C. 2 fluid ounces, so it's plenty that'll last you a really long time. Again, a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to squirt a whole bunch into the entire mask, just a little drop in each of the different eye compartments of the mask, and you'll be good to go.
Question coming in. Are the dive boats in South Florida requiring the use of these products? Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, me. So, yeah, unfortunately, there really isn't a lot of enforcement on the types of products that you're allowed to bring onto a dive boat, use on a dive boat. It's really kind of up to the charter, and if they, lay out these rules, or if they, offer the product. There's a local scuba charter in Pompano called Scuba Time, and we have their Stream to Sea products available on the boat. So we have a 32 ounce of the sunscreen, we have the glass bottle with the hand sanitizer, and we have the mask defog, all available. And I like to leave a little stack of ingredient to avoid cards and little brochures if you want to learn more about how you can positively impact the environment while still protecting your skin and your body.
Okay, another question is, does the lip balm have SPF?
But yeah, so there are 2 versions. There's a soothing lip balm that does not contain SPF. It's mainly beeswax. And then you have a sun protectant lip balm, comes in 30 SPF. I think there's a cherry version and just an unflavored version. And again, a little bit goes a long way. So you don't rub it in like you do lipstick. But yeah, you have an SPF for the lip balm, and that protects you really well. I know that my lips get all kind of blistered if I don't use it when I go out.
Dani, can you explain the leave-in conditioner? What's the best way to use it on your hair when you're on the dive boat? Should you do it before the dive, after the dive? What are your thoughts?
This leave-in conditioner, it's like I don't know if it's one of the best-selling products that Stream to Sea offers, but I use this pretty much anytime. So I take a shower with the shampoo, body wash, I brush my hair, and I put some leave-in conditioner. I'll typically put it from halfway down to the tips of my hair. When I get on the dive boat, if I want to make my hair easier to braid, I'll use it then. Rub some in, braid out my hair, go on the dive, and definitely post-dive. If you use it before the dive, your hair won't get nearly as knotted or tangled, but definitely post-dive. I have my leave-in conditioner, I put it in, and my braids come out really nice and easy.
Awesome. Okay. I'm just, anybody else have any other questions? They're asking about, do we have this product at 4C? And Dani, that is a yes, right?
Yes.
We have them at 4C, at all 3 4Cs. And we also have it online. So if you're not able to get down to the 4C, I'm going to share that link right now in the chat there. And you guys can look online and get the products at 4C.com. Let's see. I'm just making sure we got everyone's questions. Any more questions, you guys? Wait. Hold on. Ask that question again.
All right. One of the questions, great job there, Dani. One of the questions that we get asked often is it really safe for the waters? I hesitate to say the words reef safe because what does that actually mean? It doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to me, but we are, in my opinion, the reef safest out there. We're the only brand in the world that I'm aware of that is tested and proven safe for freshwater fish, for saltwater fish, and for coral larvae. So we haven't tested on crustaceans and microalgae and things like that because I can't afford it, but we've formulated to be as safe as possible. But the leave-in conditioner, some people say, really? Shampoo, conditioner? Well, shampoo, a lot of people use like baby shampoo for their mask defog. Shampoo includes usually sodium lauryl or lauryl sulfate or alpha olefin sulfonate. Those are ingredients that they use as standards in aquatic tox labs. If you want to kill every fish in a tank, just throw in a little bit of baby shampoo, and that quite often will do it. So that part really is important. Conditioners quite often will include quaternary ammonium compounds. We talked about those for the sanitizers. They're also great detanglers. So if you don't have detangler, maybe dunk your head in ceramine. No, I wouldn't recommend that. But it is a very similar compound. So you do want to make sure if you're going to be putting conditioner on before you jump in the water, read the ingredients, make sure they're safe like ours. And or just use ours because it works brilliantly. I put it on before my dive, and then I put it on after as well, and I feel comfortable doing that. You had asked what was the best seller. The sunscreen, the SPF 30, by far, head and shoulders. I mean, that's our number one seller. The number two seller in our line is the leave-in conditioner. I think that's our number one repeat seller because if you dive a lot, spend a lot of time in the water, and you got hair like mine, you need it. I wear it at home. And then the number two is the Sun and Sting Relief Gel. So that stuff, if you wind up getting hit with fire coral, jellyfish, fire ants, mosquito bites, it is absolutely amazing to soothe your skin. And packaging is made from sugarcane resins too, because plastic sucks.
And I will tell you guys, I use that leave-in conditioner. It is the best for my hair. Obviously, I have very long hair, and it gets wrapped in, and even if I braid it, if I put it in a bun, it gets so tangled and it's like a mess. And if I don't put that leave-in conditioner in, it's toast. I'm working, combs through my hair, clumps of hair is falling out. I literally can put a little dime size in my hair, and it's like a world of difference. And I can say that because I use this product. So thank you for making it, because I haven't found anything else that does it.
Right
So long hair like I do, that is definitely a product for you. Another question they had was, does the defog, is it a gel or a spray?
It's a gel. So we had originally started with a spray. I love the little spritz mechanism. I personally wanted it to be a sprayer, and we had, I'm like the foggiest diver you'll ever meet. I dive a rebreather, and I don't know what it is. I have burned, I have spit, I have scrubbed, I have cleaned, and I cannot get through a 60-minute plus dive without being foggy until I made ours. So I made ours. It works great. I can do 3-hour dives. I'm good to go. But I like the little spritzer. So when we first packaged it, we put it in a sprayer. And I was on a boat down in the Keys, and I pulled out my bottle, and I popped off the little cap on top of it. And it hit the deck, and it rolled overboard. And I screamed. I went, ah! Right? I jumped over. I did my best to try to get it. And I came back and I said, we're not going to sell these with sprayers anymore because you can't get that little spritzer without that stupid little plastic dust cap. So if you have a sprayer at home and you want to dump it in a spray bottle, awesome. Good on you. It'll work great. Otherwise, just put a little tiny, less than a pea-sized drop on each lens, rub it in, add a little bit of water. If you leave a little bit of the bubbles in your mask, you dump it over. So what I do is I'll put that pea-sized amount in, I rub it on my lens, I put water in there, I kind of mush it around a little bit, and then I just dump it. I do not dunk it. So I put a little water in afterwards. I don't dunk it and rinse it out, right? Which is better in the COVID world anyway. Dump it out, put it on my face, good to go. It will not burn your eyes, and it's going to be safe. I think somebody had asked about sunscreen on your mask skirts. I think that was a question that was up above. If you put your it's if you put it on, if you put our sunscreen on your face and you're sweating or it hasn't had time to fully dry yet, and you put your mask skirt on, yep, it's going to leave a white residue all around your mask. Not really that big of a deal, but I would recommend, if you think about it, put your sunscreen on before you head out to the boat, or maybe in your car, before you start sweating, before you want to give it a chance to dry before you rub your gear on. Like if you put your hood on right after you put it on, it's going to leave a white residue there. Now, if you do get that white residue, a little bit of soap and water and it will come right off, right? You might need to use just a little bit of mechanical, your fingers or a little soft brush, and it will come right off. Okay, cool.
I had a question. Nobody's asked about this, but Autumn, do you know much about the state of Florida and the testing that they do for the water? I mean, I know you saw that graph that you shared with us.
Yeah.
How often are they testing the water, and do they have certain testing sites they always pull from? What is your experience with things there?
So your little one there's response to our testing is the same as mine. Ah! Right? It's I don't think we do enough. I honestly don't. I think some of our researchers at the universities are doing a heck of a lot better job. And not to knock the state, but you know, we've all been out there diving in Jupiter, diving over in Riviera when those floodgates are opened and our beautiful clear water turns green and mucky. You know, what's being run off there? What's in those ingredients, or what ingredients are in that runoff? I would love to know. I haven't seen any results on that.
And I have another question. Since you were talking about Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii, and there was a bay called Hamanua Bay that they were worried that the sunscreens were affecting the corals there. They were also worried that, like, not just the corals, but the sea life itself, like the sea turtles there, started getting papilloma viruses, like on their faces, on their flippers. Do you ever get the research? Is there any good like studies that are done on what it affects the marine life, not just the corals?
Yeah. There's a story that some of the surfer friends over there in Hanuma Bay like to talk about. His name is Pat. It's a parrotfish. The parrotfish, the name Pat, and sweet Pat is transgender. So we all like to be politically correct in today's world. Pat can be whoever Pat wants to be, but I don't think that Pat has a choice. Pat is stuck in conversion. So this has been a couple of years running now. Pat converts, the parrotfish converts from male to female. Well, Pat isn't quite male and isn't quite female. And apparently if you're a parrotfish scientist, you can actually tell the difference. But there's some serious hormones, there's some serious endocrine disruptors that are in those waters. Now, there is hope. We've actually been told, so 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, the conversation for the ban started. And they've been doing some studies and doing some measurement, and they're actually seeing signs of positive growth, reduction in some of the endocrine disruption visibly in those waters already. So it's pretty cool. There are some great studies, though, to answer your question, Nicole. If you go onto PubMed and you look for endocrine disruptors in turtles or Hawaii and endocrine disrupting chemicals, there's some really good studies coming out.
Awesome. All right. I think we've got all of our questions answered here. So here's the fun part, guys. Let's go over and take a look. I popped up on our screen here. This is the 4C website. And if you type in this little box here, if you type in stream to see, I also shared the link on the comment section. If you type in stream to see, you're going to see all the products that 4C carries. It's online, or that we have it in stores as well. So for the people who can't get to our stores, you can shop online, or like I said, come on in and we've got the products for you. We definitely don't have the Squalene yet, but we definitely will get it in if we have a demand for it. So, so that is one site I wanted to show you guys. Also, they talked about going to the Stream to See site, and I shared this link earlier in the chat feature. This is the site that shows all those ingredients to avoid. So you can also get printouts here at 4C, and you can go here and get the little PDF as well. So if you guys are looking for that, that's here on their Stream to See site. You go to our story, drop it down, ingredients to avoid. There's some other really cool things here as well. So, all right. So Autumn, I'm going to go ahead and hide you off the screen here. Okay. And that way we can see. And Dani, we're going to be giving away 2 products, right?
Yes, we are.
All right. What products are we giving away today?
We're going to be doing a travel hand sanitizer. Glass.
Okay, a travel hand sanitizer. So I got everybody's registration. I plugged it into this random name picker, and here we go. The winner is Daryl Johnson. Daryl, if you are listening, give us a thumbs up, give it a happy face. Let us know that you're excited. You are getting a hand sanitizer. So basically, if you are our winner tonight, we will have this available for pickup at one of the 4C stores. Or if you're not in an area where you can pick it up, we will mail it to you. So, all right, now we have a second item. We have a second item ready to raffle. By the way, my babysitter canceled, so this is Alyssa. Everybody knows Alyssa. All right, so we have a second item. So, Dani, what are we giving away today?
Mask defog.
Mass defog. All right, so we've got the random name picker. Let's get it back on the screen. Okay, here we go. And the winner of the Mass defog is Katie Ketnip. Hopefully I said your name right. Caddy or Katie Nip. Nip? I'm so sorry. But if you're listening, give us a thumbs up and tell us that you're excited that you won the defog. So our two winners, don't worry, I'll email you and get your guys' information and get those products to you. Oh, look, they're over here saying, hi, Alyssa. Everybody say hi, Alyssa. She's going to take over my job one day, everybody. So if you think I'm fun and entertaining, wait till you see this one. She's pretty entertaining, too. All right, so if there's no other, I'm going to bring Autumn back in. And
I almost forgot to mention.
Here we go. And there's Autumn. Okay, Danielle has one more thing to mention.
So I know personally that I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, I don't do sunscreen. I don't like wearing sunscreen. I don't like rubbing it in. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like anything about it. And I say, okay, I guess that's your opinion, but there are solutions for those people that just refuse to rub sunscreen on them. We have some awesome UVA protecting rash guards. They come in different colors for men and women. I've squeezed our model here into a woman's rash guard. I think the men's comes in a dark, a navy blue. And the best part about them is that they're made out of recycled ghost fishing nets, or recycled plastic. Correct me if I'm wrong, Autumn.
You're good.
Super stretchy. This one even comes with some loops. And yeah, the rash guards are awesome. And as well, we have neck gaiters. This one's my favorite pattern by far, but they are also made out of that recycled ghost fish netting. So sunscreen's not your thing, you still can protect your body with these awesome rash guards. And I think they even make them for dogs, which is super adorable.
So I actually don't think we have those at 4C. Maybe we need to do an order. Whoever wants a rash guard or a neck buff at 4C, make sure you give us thumbs up right now so that our purchasing guy, Nick, will know that that's what we want at the stores. All righty, guys. So that's all we have for tonight. I do appreciate, Autumn, your information that you gave us tonight about toxic oceans and the things that we need to be aware of, what's in our products, what we're putting on our bodies, and how it's affecting the ocean and the animals that live within it. And Dani, we also want to thank you for showing off the products today. And guys, remember, it's Give Thanks to Your Oceans this month. Because it's Thanksgiving, we want to thank our oceans because we love diving in them. So make sure to keep them clean. Let's get out there and go diving. See you, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.